The kids are all right for Frank Lampard. My goodness, how they performed in a 5-star showing, getting the better of Wolves by a final score of 5-2. A number of storylines, not least Tomori getting a wonderful first Premier League goal, Mason Mount continuing to dazzle, and how about Tammy Abraham now, leading goalscorer in the Premier League with his 5th, 6th and 7th goals.
And who would have saw that coming? I mean, who would have seen that coming from Tammy Abraham and Chelsea? Now, people are going to say, well, see, we believed in Tammy Abraham. We had him scoring a hat-trick. Yeah, for sure he was going to lead the Premier League in scoring. Not the case. And it was a fair question to ask. Is this really the guy who's going to lead the attack for Chelsea? Well, let me tell you. Goals and the way in the way that he scored the goals would answer the question and say, yeah, it looks like this is the guy. And the reason I say that is because it's 3 different types of goal. The first goal in which he turns inside the 18-yard box in a tight area. Second goal, a header. And then the third goal in which hold up play initially, then face up, dribble the defender, a little change of pace, a little skill, a little filth, leave the defender behind, and then finish to the far post. You're saying now what you're seeing is resources from Tammy Abraham that I don't think even the biggest Chelsea fan would have said, yeah, I saw that from Tammy. Tammy was going to bring that every day. Even the biggest Chelsea fan right now is saying, man, we just ran into something that we didn't know we had. And if this kid continues to play this way, and Mason Mount continues to play the way that he has played, and then you have some of the other talent around, if they just defend a little bit, just a little bit better, then Chelsea will be fine. Defensively, they still have their issues. They gave up 2 goals today, but clearly the story is Tammy Abraham and his hat-trick, and how impressive of a hat-trick it was. The variety of the goals give you the idea that, man, maybe he's for real.
Yeah, the story really was with him is, regardless of how he performed at lower level, when he'd been given the chance at Premier League level with Swansea, his touch needed to be cleaned up. He needed to be a little bit more just more elegant with the ball, or just, I guess, more of a presence for the size that he is. Now he's just a massive headache for anyone who plays against him. I mean, the faith that Frank Lampard has shown in the young kids, it's just been repaid in droves.
Yes, and the same people that were criticizing Frank Lampard for playing the young kids early on. Remember when they played Manchester United in the first game of the season? Well, how can you go with a young team in there without experience and play against Manchester United? Well, now those are the same people that say, hey, Frankie, all right, I'm going to play the young boys. Come on, man. Yeah. You can't have it both ways. What you can have, if you're Frank Lampard, is an understanding that when you play young players, there's going to be moments in which you're going to pay for it. But when you see the talent, as I'm sure he sees during training, in the middle of the week where we don't have access to, where the fans don't have access to, and he sees what these guys are doing on a daily basis, he's saying, you know what, I think they can do this on the weekend. And the more you see it happening from Mount, from Abraham, from whoever, then you say to yourself, all right, well, I can see a path here. And I can see a direction in which Chelsea is going, and it feels like, okay, we're going to rely on the young talent, maybe because we have no choice. Maybe because we couldn't go get players because we were on a transfer ban. Maybe because we couldn't bring that talent. And perhaps it has worked out to the advantage of not only Frank Lampard, but certainly of the young players who now get an opportunity and are making the most of that chance.
Now, I for one hadn't been completely convinced by this line that Wolves will struggle simply because they're in the Europa League and they started their season in July with all of the qualifiers and they're now going to be asked to play Thursday, Sunday. But obviously no win under their belt in the early going. Today's performance, how worried are you looking at their fortunes going forward?
Worried in that they allow the game to get away from them very quickly, and there was no stopping the bleeding. You just looked at a team that saw the goals coming and going, and they didn't seem to get a hold of the ball. Chelsea was the one under control the whole time, but if people are concerned about Europa League, guess what? Miss out on Europa League then.
Right.
Okay. If you don't, are you telling me that the Wolves fans do not like the idea that they did so well last year that they're involved in a European competition? Is that the point where we're at now, that we're demanding that some of these teams like Wolves who should be extremely excited about the fact that they get to play in Europe, now we're going to say, oh no, you know what? Guys are tired. Mentally they're drained. I don't know if they're going to be the same that they were last year. Look, how about you just approach the game, play well, and when you go behind, you don't just open yourself up and allow Chelsea to score as many goals as they did. I think Wolves will be fine in the end.
Okay, so Wolves have some work to do, and they have a busy schedule in which to complete some of those refurbishments onto the squad and rotate the squad and get those players match fit again for the Premier League challenge, which is going to be a tough one this year. But as for Chelsea, it's all starting to come up roses.